So Konica, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and what you're studying here at the University of Waterloo?
So I'm at the University of Waterloo. I'm studying arts and business, and I'm majoring in peace and conflict studies. I went on exchange to Barbados at the University of West Indies.
Can you tell me a little bit about how you decided to go to Barbados? Like, how did you decide on that destination versus all of the other destinations we have available at Waterloo?
Sure. I wanted to go somewhere warm, and I was always interested in the culture and the food of the Caribbean. And yeah, I decided because also it's a place where they know English, it was a good opportunity.
Did you take courses mostly in English?
Yeah, so all the courses I took were in English, but they were tailored to specifically problems in the Caribbean. So it was a really enriching experience because not only were you there, but you were academically studying the problems that you were seeing around you.
Okay. What are some of the courses that you took while you were at the University of West Indies?
My favorite course was called Crimes by and Against Women, and so it was basically learning about media and how it changes the way we think about gender relations. So that was my favorite course, and then I also took crisis intervention. So that was basically social work, and it was really great because I got to meet social workers in the Caribbean and learn about problems there and how they dealt with it. And then I took criminology.
So that's kind of like the academic aspect of doing your exchange at the University of West Indies.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me a little bit about what the student life was like at the school?
Sure. So I lived on residence, so it was actually really amazing because at the school there was people from all over the world. So it was really nice to be, making friends with people who were all over the world there, and especially in the Caribbean. So because you have all these friends in the Caribbean, they're inviting you to the countries nearby, so you had all these opportunities to travel. So that was nice, living with a bunch of people who were from everywhere and learning from them, learning about cultures. Actually, in terms of the university size, it's also a lot smaller. So it's a very tight-knit community. Like, you get to know everyone at the university, and you go to all these events and you see all these people. So it was really nice. If you ever needed anything, then you knew everyone there, and it was a good environment.
Nice. Yeah. So during your time in Barbados, did you feel relatively safe while you were there, or were there any safety issues that you came across?
I definitely felt safe, and that was largely due to the fact that they had guards everywhere on campus and for all of the residences. So and they were also really strict with their policies about who could come in and who could leave, and everyone on campus had to have guest cards, and it was also nice that the guards, they knew everyone's face. So that's another thing. Because it was such a tight-knit community, I did feel safe because everyone knew each other, and in the sense that provides the safety. And another reason I felt safe was because taxis were very widely available there, and anytime you went out, it was very lively, and there was, you would go out with a big group of exchange students, and it was nice to know if you needed to get home, you could, it was safe to just get a taxi, and wherever you are, you would find your way home and be safe.
Is there anything that you would recommend students do in order to ensure their safety and be more safe?
Definitely having a cell phone, I think, was an important thing. So I found myself in some situations where having a cell phone would have made things a lot more easier and made me feel a lot more comfortable. So that would be one of my recommendations.
You mentioned that you were there for 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get to do a lot of traveling around?
So in terms of within Barbados, I got to do a lot of traveling. So what's amazing is they have a lot of opportunities to do island tours. So I did a lot of those, and on those tours you did things like sightsee and go surfing, and so I got to do a lot of new things. In terms of other countries, I did get a chance during one of our breaks. So you get 2 breaks in the term. And I did get to go to Trinidad while I was there. So it was really amazing because in February they have Carnival. And so just imagine a whole country kind of shuts down to party. So I basically went there. I wanted to experience that. And I didn't, during the week before exams, I needed to stay and catch up, but there were a lot of opportunities in terms of the other exchange students. They all formed a group and they went essentially island hopping because you're close to all these islands and all the countries are different. There's a lot of opportunity to travel because you're so close.
Food is like a huge aspect of like
Yeah,
no matter where you go. So, what was the cuisine like over there in the Caribbean?
Well, in Trinidad, I found the cuisine to be amazing. Like that was definitely my favorite, just because I found it was very much a mixture of, like if you look into the history of Trinidad, there's been a lot of, like there's Indian influence, and then there's so many different influences in the food. So I found it to be very different, but I was really glad I had the opportunity to experience it. In terms of Barbados, the food, I was eating what I was used to at home because there was a grocery store close by, so I mostly cooked for myself. So I did go out here and there, but it was also easy to keep, your diet the way you're used to, and at the same time, be able to try new things.
Okay. Well, I guess if you cooked for yourself, then you kind of got a sense of like the difference between the cost
Food
of living
prices.
there and
Yeah.
here.
So what I did notice is what is really important, at least in Barbados, is where you go for food. So there's a grocery store that you could go to that looks exactly like the grocery stores here. And a lot of the exchange students would go there because it's just what they're used to. And there was like a place it was like Costco. So a lot of the exchange students went there because that's what they were used to. But if you ventured out and you went to the local markets, you could find food that was quite cheap, almost, you would see that the grocery stores that you're used to are double the price of that. So it really depends on where you shop. But I would say if you want the style that you're used to, it was more expensive.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like imported.
Yeah. Like for example, I remember a bag of chips. A bag of Lay's chips was like $7.
Oh really?
Yeah. So here it's very different, right? But then if you're looking for like fruit and vegetables there, they were expensive. But then if you go to a local market, they would be almost half of the price.
Okay.
So it's really a matter of, I think, exploring and finding the best place for what you're looking for.
And what would you say is like one of the most fun or exciting activities that you did, that you tried for the first time while you were there?
Okay, so for activities, definitely surfing. That was something I was really afraid to do, but I always wanted to try. And there's a lot of opportunity for water sports and lessons. So I took surfing lessons, and that was definitely my favorite thing. Another thing was swimming with turtles.
Oh, wow.
So there's a lot of opportunity to go on cruises, and they include things like food, music, and then snorkeling, and then they'll take you to shipwrecks. So the catamaran cruises was definitely one of my other favorite activities.
Yeah, so you mentioned surfing as one of the activities that you tried for the first time once going there. How did you find that experience?
I found it to be really amazing. At first we started off doing surfing in waters that weren't so rough. But then I got adventurous, and I asked my instructor if we could go on a tour, and he took me to a place where mostly professionals go for surfing, and it was called Surfers Point. And I definitely was not able to keep up when I was there, but again, it's something I learned from, because when I was there, I realized that even though I'm not able to surf in that water, it's something that I want to do in the future. So again, it taught me more about myself.
What was a challenge that you had while you were abroad?
The actual bus routes were a challenge, but the busing experience was a challenge as well at first, because it was very different in the sense that it's not what you're used to here, like quiet busing. There they were blasting music, and they would drive really fast. And at first, also the way the fare was collected, you're in a really crowded bus, and then someone comes around and gets the money from you. So at first it was a bit scary, because you're just not used to the speed. You're wondering if the bus driver if he's driving safely, and if he can hear anything over all the music. But it started off to be something that was challenging, and then it became something that I actually enjoyed, because it was different, and I enjoyed the music when I was on the bus. So, yeah.
What would you say the impact of the exchange experience is or has been on you as a person and as a student at the University of Waterloo?
So for sure, I would say as a person, I think it's really changed my outlook in terms of risk taking. So before I went, I was quite nervous to go. But I realized that even when I was there, if I hadn't just gone with my gut and decided to try these things, there's so many new and amazing things I wouldn't have had to experience. So now even today when I see things and I'm kind of nervous at first, you think about there's so much good that could come out of this. And I think about Barbados and how I had this path where I was not so sure and I wasn't going to go, but then I went and I realized it's really important to take risks and to challenge yourself because you do grow from it, and amazing things can come out of it.
I think a lot of our other exchange students have had the same kind of experience where they're, after the exchange, they're more willing to like put themselves out there and
Yeah,
they're, like, more outgoing.
exactly, yeah.
Okay, so one last question. If there was a piece of advice that you would give to any of our prospective exchange students, what would it be?
I think it would just be to make the best of where you are. Like, there's so much opportunity, there's so many new things that you can experience in a different country, and there's so many people out there to meet. So I really think that it's important to go there, and like I said, take those risks and go out there, try those things, try surfing even if it scares you, like, you don't know what could come out of it. You could end up loving it. So yeah, that's what happened to me, and I think everyone should take those risks.
Great.
Yeah.